this week on Cruisin' New England. We're all used to seeing the Ford name on Mustangs and Falcons, but on charcoal? On tomato juice? On fine china? I'm Paul Manette. I want to welcome you to another episode of Cruisin' New England. Today we're going to visit with Donald Persardi. He's a collector of Fords. And let me tell you, he's got one of the finest collections I've ever seen. Memorabilia, automobilia, and of course my all-time favorite, pedal cars. All this and more on Cruisin' New England. All my life, I've been cruising New England, meeting great people, visiting amazing places, and discovering wonderful classic and custom car collections, nostalgic automobilia, and so much more. Come on and join our adventure. I'm Paul Manette. Let's go cruising. Intercity Lines Incorporated, America's premier enclosed auto transporter, providing enclosed transport throughout the United States. Call 800-221-3936 or visit us on the web.
Experience McMulkin Chevrolet, one of the largest volume new and pre-owned Corvette dealers in the country.
I came here because I heard McMulkin has the largest selection of Corvettes in the Northeast.
I bought a ZR1 because I wanted the fastest production car out there.
McMulkin has one of the most extensive inventories of coupes and convertibles, available and ready for delivery.
The Taj Mahal of Chevy dealerships. If you haven't been around, you got to come and check this place out.
Make it the true American sports car, Corvette. McMulkin Chevrolet is your Corvette dealer.
Imperial Worldwide insulation vinyl siding, copper and seamless aluminum gutters, closet-made shelving systems, and zero-clearance fireplaces. We strive to make the building process easy and fun.
Hi, I'm Jim Grundy. Many of you know me as the old original of Collector Car Insurance at Grundy. Well, today I'm here to introduce something new. We call it the Motor Vehicle Programmer MVP. MVP is designed to offer you the same great coverage with agreed value and incredible rates, not just on your collector cars, but on your daily drivers, your motorcycles, your motorhomes, your pickup trucks. If it goes over the road, we can insure it on MVP. To get a quote, call our 800 number or visit us online.
Find out what's happening. Get up-to-date information as I travel throughout New England and beyond. To get exclusive information and behind-the-scenes photos, join me on Facebook. Now you can watch Cruisin' New England television every day on our website television show. You'll see past episodes featuring automobile collections, memorabilia, automobilia, car show, and cruise night segments. Don't miss our visit with Hall of Fame drag racer Don Garlitz, a private showing of Bob Baer's world-class automobile collection, and watch for special segments, unseen footage, and so much more. Join us on our website television show at cruisingNewEngland.com. I'm here with Donald Persardi, and he is a true blue Ford collector. What do you have here for us today?
I collect everything from Ford Motor Company pre-1953. I have some, extremely rare things, showroom posters, anything from China, dishes. The rarer the item is, the more I like it, and the more unusual the item is, the better.
Now this collection, you try to keep it within specific years.
Yes, 1903 to 1953. Even though I do have some things that are a little bit newer than that, but that's the primary years.
So Donald, where are we going to start the tour?
We're going to start with the 1931 Model A Victoria. This car I originally acquired for $675. It needed a complete restoration, and I did some of the work myself, but I did sub out an awful lot of the work.
So Donald, a lot more goes into a restoration than just sandblasting.
Sure, you have to do the research as to picking out authentic colors, different patterns, the type of interior you're going to use. So, you decide all that before you even, start.
When you bought the car, what condition was it in?
It was a nice solid car, but it was, banged up and stuff. I had to, replace fenders on the car. It was 100% complete, but needed, full restoration.
So Donald, what did you pay for this when you first bought it?
I originally paid $675 for this car.
And then what happened from there? How much money did you have to put into it to get it to look like this?
It was about $13,000 at the time.
And what is it worth today, Donald?
Probably 20, 25,000,
So the investment was well worth it for you.
without a doubt.
So Donald, what are you going to show me next year in your collection?
Next, I'm going to show you my 34 Ford Phaeton. This is probably the prettiest Ford ever built. It's a 1934 Ford Phaeton. And this car was a real good solid car before I started the restoration. What's unique about it is the suicide doors. In 1933 and 34, they introduced the suicide doors, which were to give you more legroom when you were getting in and out of the car. The only dangerous part was if the door wasn't latched all the way and you were going around a sharp corner, you could actually get ejected out of the car.
Now, did you totally restore this?
No, this car was almost all finished when I bought it. I just did some final detailing on the car.
Now, were you looking for this specific automobile?
Yes,
So this is one that you wanted for your collection?
yes,
It's very nice. It's actually it's actually a show vehicle.
yes it is. I saw this car at Hershey, Pennsylvania at the large car show down there, and I fell in love with it.
I can see why. It's a beautiful automobile. So Donald, who would have owned this car back then?
Oh, just about anybody. I mean, this was actually an affordable car, but this car was, you know, most of these cars ended up as hot rods because of the look of it. I mean, this car actually looks like a hot rod even though it's all authentic.
This is something you'll never hot rod, I can tell you that.
Definitely not. Would you like to see under the hood?
I would like to see that. That would be nice.
I can show you that. This is the original 90 horsepower flathead. It's got the aluminum heads, the aluminum intake, and you can see, you know, how detailed you have to have an engine for a show car.
Well, this is the original engine?
Yes, it is.
When we come back, we're going to see a lot more of Donald's collection of automobiles, automobilia, and some of my favorites, pedal cars.
Waiting on back orders again? Your neighbor isn't. He ordered from NPD. National Parts Depot continues to be the nation's leading source for quality restoration parts and supplies for Ford, Truck, Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, and Firebird. With 4 strategically located superstores, you'll find everything you need shipped to your door within 1 to 3 business days. For your free catalog, visit NPD online or call toll-free. Don't let back orders stall your project. NPD takes the frustration out of restoration.
Graphic Express, mobile lettering, custom graphics for autos, fleets, trucks, and boats. Signs of all types including awnings, storefronts, banners, and more.
Intercity Lines Incorporated is America's premier enclosed auto transporter with service to all 48 states. Intercities features 53-foot air ride trailers equipped with lift gates for level loading of all vehicles. Intercity's drivers are the most experienced in the auto transport business and treat each car as if it was their own. Intercity provides transport services for car owners, auto manufacturers, dealers, museums, auto auctions, concours, and racing events. Call us toll-free or visit our website.
Don't miss the Amherst Outdoor Antique Auto Show and Flea Market, Amherst, New Hampshire. The last Sunday of the month, April through October. Over 500 spots. Gates open at 6 a.m. with free admission.
Cash for Gold, the place to sell your unwanted gold and diamonds. Where you sell your jewelry is as important as where you buy it. We at Cash for Gold are diamond and gold specialists. We will buy all size diamonds, gold chains, rings, bracelets, silver coins, and even broken jewelry. Often we pay 2 to 3 times higher than pawn shop prices. We also pay up to 90% of the daily price of both diamonds and gold. We are the original, authentic, family-run Cash for Gold and have been for more than 28 years. Visit us at 527 South Broadway, Route 28 in Salem, New Hampshire.
When September comes, the party begins. Cruise on over to the Big E in West Springfield, Mass. September the 14th through the 30th.
We're back with Donald Prasardi, and as my viewers know, I love pedal cars, and he's got some of the finest pedal cars I've ever seen. Show us some of them, please.
Sure. This is a 1946 Chevrolet pedal car. And I restored it to look like, you know, a diner type vehicle. Over here we have a 1935 Auburn pedal car made by Steelcraft, and you can see it's an outstanding restoration. It's done as the same as the model of the Hallmark pedal car. Over here we have a 1936 Ford pedal car. And then this is the largest of all pedal cars. This is an Austin pedal car.
Now, why don't you, I guess the hood even opens on this one.
Yes, it does. As you can see, when you open the hood, it has a little fake engine in here. It has a horn that works. The headlights work. It's got a parking brake on it that works. And you know, it's very unusual because I had a fella from England come over and he was the one that told me more about this vehicle than I knew even. And he sent me this book.
So you got the book and everything else to go with it.
This is my Packard pedal car. This is probably the rarest of all my pedal cars, and it's this was a rich kid's toy. This car probably sold for as much as $35 brand new, which was a lot of money for back then.
What is this car worth today?
I would say probably around $10,000.
Now, where did you find this?
This car I found, it was in pretty rough shape. Unfortunately, the fenders had to be replaced. If this had the original fenders, it would be worth probably double that amount.
So you're always looking for pedal cars, aren't you?
I'm always out there looking for pedal cars.
Now, here's another pedal car here that,
Yes.
that looks pretty nice to me.
That's a 1935 Ford pedal car.
And where did you find something like that?
Oh, I go all over. I don't even know where I can find some of this stuff. I'm always spending my weekends at flea markets, auctions, and so forth.
And your goal is to get at least 3 pieces every week?
Exactly.
I want to ask you a question. How many pieces do you have in your entire collection?
Oh, it's got to be over 10,000.
Well, I want to look at some more of these pedal cars,
Sure.
and I see more right over here.
Sure. This is a 1938 Oldsmobile pedal car.
Now, Oldsmobile, that has to be a rare pedal car. I have never seen an Oldsmobile pedal car before.
Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, on all pedal cars, you have to kind of use a little imagination because they don't always look exactly like the model that they should be.
Well, has this been restored?
Yes, it has.
So what do? You look for them that need restorations, or do you look for them that are already restored?
I'd much rather have a nice original car. The original cars are worth by far more than a restored vehicle.
Well, this is a beautiful piece. Donald, this is a real old piece.
Yes, this is a 1905, and it's supposed to simulate crank starting the vehicle.
A lot easier than real cranking.
Exactly.
Donald, this is a beauty, but this one you haven't restored.
No, this is too nice of a car to restore. This is a mid-30s Pierce Arrow.
Is it a rare piece?
Yes, it is.
There aren't too many of them around. I've never seen one again. You have so much in here that I've never seen. Now, what about this one?
That's a Packard, but that one's been restored. But that one, if you push it down, you'll see that it's got actual spring work.
Wow.
Yeah, Steelcraft made, luxury models. They made cheap models, but that was the higher end model. And then behind you is an Essex. That's a 1929 Essex.
Now, was that made in 1929?
Yes.
So that actually is the when it was made, 1929.
Exactly.
So that was a toy for a kid, and now, what'd something like that go for back then?
Oh, back then that would probably sell for about $8.
And what did you buy it for?
I think I paid probably $800.
And what is it worth today?
Probably $1,500 or more.
Wow, it's a beautiful piece. Again, all original condition.
Yes.
Now back here, I don't know, is this one that you restored?
Yes, that's a restored Cadillac.
What condition was it in when you first
That one
bought it?
was, there again, it was a nice solid vehicle, but it just needed too much, the paint was totally off of it. So I had to start right from scratch repainting it.
Donald, these pedal cars are in beautiful condition, whether they've been restored or not. When we come back, we're going to have a look at some of Donald's big cars and a whole lot more. All here on Cruisin' New England. Welcome to the Town Fair Tire Recognition Award Series. Each week we're going to be giving away an award to recognize a classic car owner throughout New England. I'm here with Jim Giuliano. He's the Vice President of Marketing and Advertising for Town Fair Tire.
Paul, Town Fair Tire is a proud sponsor of the Recognition Award Series. At the end of the series, we're going to have a Town Fair Tire Choice Award winner for the $500 gift certificate.
It's going to be very exciting. Jim, I'd like you to meet Mike Merzigian.
Mike, tell us about your car.
This is a 51 Merc that I chopped 5 inches and painted in black cherry pearl.
Looks awesome. On behalf of Town Fair Tire, I'd like to present you with a trophy and a gift certificate.
Thank you.
Get to Town Fair Tire. You always get free mounting, free flat repair, free tire rotation, free snow tire changeover. Drive with confidence. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
We're back with Donald Prasadi, and now we're going to have a look at the smallest of the big cars.
Yes, this is a 1930 Model A Cabriolet, and as you can see, I'm sitting in the rumble seat. This car was originally restored by a good friend of mine, and he did it around the same period of time I was doing the Model A Victoria, and he wanted to sell it, and I said, Tony, I have to have your car.
Why did you say you have to have this car? Why were you so interested in it?
Well, it's just because we both did the cars almost simultaneously, and if you look at the license plates on the car, we both have the same license plate number. We were both at the same flea market, and I bought the 1931 and he bought the 1930 license plate.
Donald, the front end on this is a little different.
Yes, this has a winter hood on it, which wasn't very popular because it made a Ford look like a Chevrolet.
Donald, very unusual car. I'm sure you're proud of it. I noticed behind us here you have some really fantastic toys.
Oh, I'd love to show you what I have.
Donald, these seem to be some of the oldest toys you have in your collection.
Yes, these are from the 1920s. They're Buddy L toys, and there's one Steelcraft.
Now, what do we have right here?
This here's a Buddy L tanker truck.
Boy, it's in beautiful condition.
Thank you.
And what else do you have here on the floor?
We have a steam engine, a ladder truck, an express truck. That was a coal truck with the original loader. This would be a Buddy L loader, and then this was a Keystone loader, as you can see. This one's from the teens. Oops, excuse the little cobwebs, but...
Well, goes along with being back from the teens.
Exactly.
And what do you have? A beautiful fire truck here. Tell me about the fire truck.
That's a Buddy L as well. That's the ladder truck.
Does it all work?
Yes,
Donald?
it does.
How does it work?
I'll show you.
So this goes back way beyond my years.
Yeah, it might be a little old for you.
But I tell you, to find a piece in that condition is really extraordinary. It's a beautiful piece.
Thank you, Paul.
Donald, from a distance, this looks like a telescope.
No, it's actually a micrometer built by the Henry Ford Trade School students, and this was actually on display at the 39 World's Fair.
How did you ever find a piece like that? I mean, this is an original piece that students made back then.
This was through word of mouth. It actually came out of California. I had to have it shipped from California.
Now behind you, you have a showcase that's, I mean, some people would like to have that as their entire collection.
Yeah, this is my favorite case right here. This is mostly all to do with Ford exhibits. This is from the 34 World's Fair, the 35 World's Fair, which was held in San Diego. And then in 1936, they had one in Dallas, Texas. And as you can see, I have, not only do I have the original cars, rubber cars from them, but I have the original boxes that they came in.
Now on top, I see you have some other memorabilia there. Could you tell us about what you have there?
Sure. This is all, you know, like I say, from different exhibits and stuff. This little box is from the 1939 World's Fair. The banners are from Willow Run Airport, which was another thing that Henry Ford had. He had his own airport. He had some very, very fascinating things.
Over here on this display case, you have some toys, some more toys. And now down the bottom, on the bottom shelf, you have a couple of tin toys. Can we have a look at those?
Sure. These again are Buddy L toys, which are, really well-built toys that were made in the 1920s. And then above here is my favorite. This is a display that came out in 1946. And it's supposed to be advertising the Ford in your future with a Ford with a globe in his hand.
So this is a World's Fair idea, but Henry Ford was really trying to sell some product here.
Exactly. He was always selling his product.
And he was looking for innovative ways to do it, and he certainly did it with this.
Definitely.
Now down below there, I want to have a look at that tin toy because there's something special about that. Can you show it to us?
Sure. This is a Ford Sportsman. It's made by Wynot, and it takes, there again, most toys take a lot of imagination to really look like a Sportsman, but this has a top that'll go down, and I mean, it's a really unique toy.
It's really nice, and again, it's in beautiful, original condition.
Well, condition means everything, as you know, in collecting.
Donald, I see a beautiful Ford convertible back there.
That's my 1946 Ford Sportsman.
We're going to see that and more on Cruisin' New England when we come back. I'm Paul Minette, and I'm proud to be named the spokesperson for the Food Allergy Education Network.
Food allergies are a growing and serious health concern. 1 in 12 children in the United States has food allergies. That's 2 children in every classroom. There is no cure for food allergies. The only way to keep our children safe is through education. Learn the facts about food allergies. Know the signs and symptoms of anaphylaxis.
You can save a life.
I got involved because of my granddaughter, and I hope you get involved too.
Would you like information about Cruisin' New England productions? Cruisin' New England magazine has been the premier auto and events magazine for nearly 20 years. Cruisin' New England Car Show series includes the Elite Dream Machines Rock and Roll Weekend at Mohegan Sun Casino, the Super Wheel Showdown on City Hall Plaza, Boston, and the Spooktacular Cruisin' Classic. Or for personal appearances by Paul Minette or advertising on our television show, contact us at cruisenewengland@aol.com.
Building Maintenance Services. We've been servicing the Northeast since 1990. We service and repair revolving doors, automatic and handicap doors. We can help you design an attractive, efficient entrance you can be proud of. Protect your investment and secure your property with yearly maintenance contracts and 24-hour service. Whether in office, medical, or commercial high-rise, we'll get the job done right for you. Building Maintenance Services.
Tired of waiting for delivery of your classic car parts? You need NPD. National Parts Depot continues to be the nation's leading source for quality restoration parts and supplies for Ford, Truck, Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, and Firebird. With 4 strategically located superstores, you'll find everything you need shipped to your door within 1 to 3 business days. For your free catalog, visit NPD online or call toll-free. Don't be the last guy on the block to get your ride rolling. NPD takes the frustration out of restoration.
We're back, and I promised you a 1946 Ford Sportsman convertible.
Yes, this is my 1946 Ford Sportsman. It's body number 51 of 723 ever built.
Now, how many do you think there are left?
No, there's less than a handful.
So let's talk about it. It's actually a Woody convertible.
Yes, this car has every piece of wood on this car is the original wood. All Sportsmen had power windows, which were standard. This was Ford's competition with the Chrysler Town & Country.
So Donald, what's special about this automobile?
This car is loaded with accessories. It actually has a button on the floor that you could switch to radio stations without taking your eyes off the road. It has a fire extinguisher that could be used to inflate the tires in case of an emergency. It has an insect screen that goes on the front of the car. It also has a winter front where you could put a screen on the front that would keep the heat for the car. It just goes on and on with accessories.
All right, now what are we going to have a look at next in your collection?
Paul, I want to show you something special over here. This is my 1935 two-door. And what's unique about this is the way the window mechanism works. You crank the window down one way, it works just like a regular window. You crank the same window crank the opposite way, and it opens as a little vent window.
Wow, it's way before its time, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Are there any special features on this automobile?
Yes, this has a radio, which was an expensive option for 1935. A radio sold for $44 when the whole car sold for approximately $549. So that was a very expensive accessory.
Now behind us here we have the auto radio display right here. I've never seen one before, so maybe you might want to describe it to our audience.
That's showing a 1940 radio. That would be a display that was in the showroom in 1940. And you could see it operated. Also, they would loan you the radio for 300 miles before you would have to purchase the radio. So
Wow.
you could try it in your car.
So if you didn't like it, you can give it back.
Exactly.
Now over here, here's some advertisement.
Okay, a lot of people don't realize that Henry Ford actually invented the charcoal briquette, and Ford Motor Company sold charcoal for a number of years. As a matter of fact, this is a 10-pound bag of charcoal. Next to that on the floor is a 1-pound box of Ford charcoal. And what you just passed were shoes. Henry Ford actually had his own dry goods stores.
So Donald, what's this room?
This is my office.
Quite an office. Why don't you tell me about what you have in here?
Mostly original signs and all kinds of memorabilia from Ford Motor Company again.
Donald, I can see you got some really amazing signs up there.
Most of those are from the 20s and 30s, the ones that are on the wall up there.
Can you give us a little description of each one of those signs up there?
Sure. As you can see, this one, the Ford dealer, that was from the 20s. This one is also from the 20s. The one next to it is from the 30s. The Ford's all sign above it, that's a 20s era. And then you can see the ones that are advertising starters. That was when a starter was an accessory on a Ford. Okay, on the wall here, I also have this Ford antifreeze display, which is a very rare display. And you can see I have the original literature with it as well.
And the showcase is filled with all types of automobilia.
Yes, and one of the most unique pieces of memorabilia is this Ford tomato juice. Henry Ford was a farmer at heart and had thousands of acres of farmland. He grew tomatoes and made tomato juice, but he couldn't market all the tomato juice he could produce. So he sold it to Ford Motor Company, and if you were a Ford agency at the time, you had to sell some of his tomato juice.
Ford tomato juice? I could have had a V8.
Ford introduced the V8 in 1932.
Now behind you, against the wall, leaning on the door, you have two great jackets.
Yes, these are original shop coats. They would be worn either in the factories or at the dealerships when you were working on somebody's car.
So you think you've got my size?
I don't think so. The people weren't very heavy back then.
Hey!
Paul, this is one of my favorite items. This is a photograph that was taken at the 34 World's Fair, signed by Henry and Edsel Ford.
You have a lot of things here from the 1934 World's Fair.
Yes, that was probably one of my favorite eras, and Ford did the most advertising in that period of time.
So Donald, I guess this is a one-of-a-kind piece.
Yes, it is. It's an architect's model from the 1934 World's Fair. It's the actual model of the Ford Rotunda building that was used at the Chicago World's Fair. And as you can see, there's a picture of Henry and Edsel Ford standing right in front of this model. And then in 1936, this building was moved to Dearborn, Michigan, and in 1962, it burnt down to the ground.
And you were able to get this piece. How did you get it?
It came out of an old building that Ford Motor Company owned that it was in storage, and they were tearing down the building, and a friend of mine found it, and he was one of the workers and got it for me.
Donald, this is one of the nicest collections I've seen in 5 years. The pedal cars, the toys, everything that you have is great, and you're a wonderful guy.
Thank you.
I had a great time here today.
You're welcome to come back anytime.
I'm Paul Minette. Until next time, I'll be cruising New England.